What have we got here then? Well, this is overpriced rubbish and this is overpriced rubbish. In fact, all of this stuff is overpriced, overprocessed rubbish. Now, these snacks, on the other hand, are all homemade. They are simple, they are delicious. They contain just 5 ingredients each, and they each cost less than $1 per serve. In this episode, I'm going to share the 5 cheap, healthy snacking recipes that we use to make delights like these so that you can add them to your weekly routine really, really easily. More than that, I hope this video will act kind of like a reset to how you may be thinking about food. And if you want to know what I mean by that, don't go away. Hello there, welcome to Grocery Dad. Now, simple, clean, home-cooked food is better for you, it's better for your family, it's better for your wallet. I don't think anyone would kind of seriously question any of that. But when it comes to things like snacks or snack foods, it's hard for a lot of us to kind of kick the habits that we've gotten into over the years. And it's hard because this stuff is often very addictive, and it's hard because we're getting fed misinformation about convenience and value, and even at times about how healthy some of these shop-bought products really are. So that's why as we go through these 5 snacking recipes today, we're going to compare them based on ingredients, based on price, based on the amount of time it'll take you to prepare them. And by the end of this video, I will ask you one really simple question, and I would like you to share your answer to that question in the comments. Simple, yes or no, and I'll tell you the question at the end. And before we move on, a quick thank you to KB5, who provided the inspiration for this week's episode by asking for some healthy, budget-friendly, homemade treat recipes. KB5, this one's for you. Hope you're watching. Let me know which is your favorite, okay? Okay, let's get on with some snacking. Now, all 5 of these recipes are used in our house week in, week out. A lot of them go in our children's lunchboxes, and if there's anything left, then I try and grab it. And I've actually had to hide these bits away just for demonstration purposes. Now, first up, it's rich, it's delicious, and it is homemade chocolate brownies. 5 core ingredients. That's all. Costs less than $1 per serve. And in my opinion, blows anything you'll get out of a packet out of the water when it comes to taste. Here is what you will need, folks. 200 grams of unsalted butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, 3 eggs, half a cup of plain flour, and a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. If you want to zhuzh this up, then you can add all sorts of other things. A pinch of salt, a little bit of vanilla, 200 grams of dark chocolate chips, some nuts, roughly chopped, maybe like walnut, hazelnut, in which case, obviously, it's not going in school lunches if you do that, but you will get a very, very nice brownie just using those 5 core ingredients. And what you're going to do is melt the butter and the choc chips if you're using them. You're going to stir in the sugar and let it cool a bit. Then you'll add your eggs, 1 at a time, then fold in the flour. That is your base. If you're adding any extras like the nuts and that sort of stuff, now's the time to do it. You pour it all into a lined tin and you bake it at 320 Fahrenheit, which is 160 degrees C, for 25 to 30 minutes. When they come out, you can try eating them hot and gooey, like I do, and burn yourself and drop them on the floor, or you can let them cool down a little bit before you start cutting. Now remember, the alternative shop-bought brownies, or like that brownie mix stuff that you can get, might contain, and I'm going to refer to my notes here, these delights: soy lecithin, palm fat, antioxidant 307B, emulsifiers 435 and 471, potassium sorbate, and raising agents 500 and 450. And so on, because that is just a selection of the things that I found. In fact, one product I checked contained no fewer than 22 individual ingredients. Yes, all approved by the relevant food safety bodies, which is, somewhat debatable in itself, but certainly, I think you'd agree, unnecessary for human consumption. Now, finally, we come to the price comparison. If I made these in the US, I would probably squeeze them out for a little under 30 cents per serve. So per 100 grams, that's going to be approximately 60 cents or about 45p if you're in the UK. Shop bought, on the other hand, well, that could easily be $2.60 or £1.95 per 100 grams. So you're talking 4 times the price of what I am holding on to here. Very nice. Now, number 2, that was really delicious, those brownies. Another massive family favourite is the mini banana pancake. Not joking when I say I literally had to hide these from my girls just so I could show you this couple that I've got here. Once again, 5 basic ingredients.
1 cup of flour or oats, 1 ripe banana, 1 egg, 1 cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. You can add some chia seeds if you're okay stretching it to 6 ingredients. Now, if you have a NutriBullet type of thing, you whiz it all up in that. If you don't have one of those, mix your wet ingredients in one bowl, then add them to the dry in another and whisk it all together.
Then you heat a non-stick pan or one of those big griddle things over a medium heat, and you dollop tablespoon-sized amounts of the batter to cook for about 1 minute on each side. And you should get, I'd say, 12 to 15 little pancakes from that amount of batter. If you're in my house, they'll be gone in 12 to 15 minutes. However, I estimate about 50 cents per 100 grams for this one, or less than 40p in the UK. But down the shops, you could be talking 80 cents per 100 grams in the US, $1.25 here in Oz,
and £18.33 in the UK.
What? No, hang on a minute.
I'm guessing that's supposed to be £1.83 per 100 grams.
So even if the Tesco website was correct, that would still make their store version the most expensive of the 3 countries by far, and more than twice the price it would cost you to make it yourself. As for the ingredients you may find in commercially manufactured pancakes, get a load of this lot. Now, my high school chemistry teacher, Mrs. Cole, would have wet herself over some of this stuff, and she probably would have said, get your hands off it and put it back in the cupboard too. So what are we talking about here? Bulking agent, maltitol. We've got partially inverted sugar syrup, calcium carbonate. You've got your disodium diphosphate, your potassium sorbate, a little bit of calcium propionate, and some of those raising agents again, 541 and 500. Quite the little chemistry experiment going on there. Now, I am not a chemist or a nutritionist, so I strongly encourage you to look some of these up and decide for yourself if these are substances that you want to have in your body in any concentration or any amount. Okay, third choice is mini muffins, again with banana, if you like. Also, lunchbox favorites, all of these snacks are, and so quick and easy. I did have a demonstration model, but someone in my house went and ate it yesterday. So alas, cannot show you one, but you'll get the idea from the B-roll. 5 everyday ingredients, again, coming up on screen now, which covers 2 large bananas, half a cup of brown sugar, 4 tablespoons of butter, a quarter cup of Greek yogurt, which you can make that yourself, like we do, and 1 cup of plain flour. And with this one, you've got some optional extras, again, like salt, cinnamon, choc chips, vanilla. But what you're going to do is preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit or 175 C and grease the largest mini muffin tin you can get your hands on. In a bowl, mash up all the banana, add your brown sugar, your melted butter, your yogurt/yogurt, stir it all well, fold in the flour and mix it again until just combined, then spoon it into the tin and bake for 12 to 14 minutes. Again, that's it, you're done. The whole business might take you, I don't know, like 25 minutes, absolute max. Tell me you don't have 25 minutes in your week to make something as clean and wholesome and frankly as tasty as this for your family, especially when the alternative might well contain, yes, you guessed it, some raising agents, this time 501, 450 and 500, some more potassium sorbate, some potassium hydrogen carbonate, and our old friends, the soy lecithins. Perhaps 20 cents per serve or 55 per 100 grams on this one, compared with, let's say, about $1 per 100 grams for a standard branded alternative that you're going to find at the grocery store. Okay, folks, before we hit number 4, if you're finding this valuable, give it a thumbs up because that tells YouTube to show it to more people who might also find it of use. And if you like this sort of thing, you might very well like this playlist because it is packed full of smart ideas that could help you save more money on your grocery bills. So kick back this evening and have a good old binge. Okay, 2 to go. And this next one involves no cooking whatsoever. But if you're buying granola bars, you're probably paying at least triple what you need to. So here's how to fix it. You are going to need 2 cups of rolled oats, 1 cup of peanut butter, a half a cup of honey, and 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and a pinch of salt. Now, I got a load of stick for including peanut butter in my 20 essential groceries list, so that'll probably happen again this time. I had no idea that my countrymen got so offended by peanut butter. But some people have had a go and asked if I was American because of my peanut butter obsession. So look, do pick a good quality peanut butter and try not to get as obsessed about it as I apparently am. And whatever you do, don't tell any British people if there's any near you. Okay, so warm our honey and our peanut butter until it stirs smoothly. Add the rolled oats, the cocoa powder, the little pinch of salt, mix it all together. Then you press it into a lined tray and you chill it until it sets. Take it out of the fridge and slice it up into bars. In fact, hang on a sec. Voila, here is one that I did just a little bit earlier, and I'm not going to slice, I'm just going to rip a bit off. That is good stuff. And that's it. 15 minutes prep tops, maybe 15 to 20 minutes in the fridge. Now this is probably like 60 cents per 100 grams to make in your kitchen, but the one in the shop is going to be much more like $1.20, $1.30 per 100 grams. And that is about £1 per 100 grams in the UK. In terms of extras you won't be putting in that the manufacturers are, again, you've got some lovely little additions like corn syrup, fructose, palm oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, and the wonderfully non-specific natural flavors. This thing that you see on a lot of labels on highly processed foods at your local store. Now, last but not least, a classic that people just don't seem to make anymore themselves, despite how incredibly cheap and easy it is to do. And it's popcorn, folks, just like this stuff here. And this is so simple, it's almost embarrassing. You buy a load of popcorn kernels, you can get a big jar or big bag for maybe like $1.20. You put your coconut oil in a pan with 3 or 4 kernels. When they pop, off the heat, pour about half a cup more kernels in on top, let the temperature come down a little bit for about 30 seconds, then back on the heat, lid on, and when the popping's done, get it off the heat and add some salt. That's it, done. Maybe 10 minutes all in from start to finish. Cost per 100 grams is going to be about 30 cents, and shop bought could be 5 times more than that, maybe even up to 10 times more, depending on the brand. Now, granted, some brands are cleaner than others in terms of ingredients, but the minimum that you can probably expect to find in the shop bought varieties is more oil and more salt than you're going to be putting in, and maybe some added colors and flavors in there as well. Put it this way, I checked out one brand online and the popcorn itself only accounted for 70% of what was in the packet. And I think that, for me, just kind of crystallizes why we really want to be making as much of our snacking foods and our food in general in our own homes. Okay, all the recipes are in the description, and if you want even more recipes, just head over to grocerydad.com. But before you do, how about that question? Okay, simple yes or no answer in the comments, please. And the question is, has this video made you more likely to try and make your own snacks at home? Love to hear the answer, because this is really a great way to cut your grocery bills and just eat more healthily. And while you mull it over, I've got a playlist right here that you might just want to go and binge on if you're looking for more grocery saving inspiration. Thanks for being here. See you all again next week.